Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I welcome you all here in this session at TNV Academy. It's a great pleasure for me to introduce our eminent speaker, Mr. Apoor Malik, today, who is going to talk to us about waste management. In this webinar today, Mr. Malik will discuss the topic in detail with some in the industry. Our distinguished speaker, Mr. Apoor Malik, has done his post-graduation in computer application from Gautam Budh Technical University, Lucknow. He is also a leader in ISO 27001 standard. He has an industrial experience of around 8 plus years in various sectors ranging from information technology and e-commerce. He has been imparting training to a number of organizations, entrepreneurs, and individuals on various topics related to ISO terminologies and their certification. It was just a brief introduction of our guest speaker today. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Mr. Apoor Malik. I may request Mr. Apoor Malik now to please start our session on waste management.
Thank you, Mr. Rishabh, for the wonderful introduction you have given about me. I thank TNV Academy for giving me this opportunity to share my views on today's topic. As stated by Mr. Rishabh, today's topic of discussion will be waste management. So we will now start the session, and to take it forward, we will start with what is waste management. So we will look at the basic definition of waste management. Waste management or waste disposal is a process and actions required to manage waste from its inception to its final disposal. This includes the collection, transport, treatment, and disposal of waste, together with monitoring and regulation of the waste management process and waste related laws, technologies, and economic mechanisms. If we want to look at the basic definition of waste management in detail, then waste can be solid, liquid, or gaseous, and each type has different methods of disposal and management. Waste management deals with all types of waste, including industrial, biological, household, municipal, organic, biomedical, and radioactive wastes. However, in some cases, we can say that waste can pose a threat to human health as well. Health issues are associated throughout the entire process of waste management. Health issues can also arise indirectly or directly through the handling of solid waste and indirectly through the consumption of water, soil, or food. Waste is produced by human activity as well. For example, the extraction and processing of raw materials. Waste management is intended to reduce adverse effects of waste on human health, the environment, planetary resources, and aesthetics. The aim of waste management is to reduce the dangerous effects of such waste on the environment and human health. A big part of waste management deals with municipal solid waste, which is created by industrial, commercial, and household activities. Waste management practices are not uniform among countries. So basically, we can say, yeah, waste management practices are different when it comes to different countries. And it also belongs according to the region as well. Suppose waste management is done, if a waste management is done in an urban area, it has a different practice. If it is done in a rural area, it has a different practice. It has a different practice for residential and industrial sectors as well, which can all take different approaches. Proper management of waste is important for building sustainable and livable cities, but it remains a challenge for many developing countries and cities till date to properly, manage the waste disposal program. Recently, a report found that effective waste management is relatively expensive, usually comprising 20% to 50% of municipal budgets. Operating this essential municipal service requires integrated systems that are efficient, sustainable, and socially supported. A large portion of waste management practices deal with municipal solid waste, which is the bulk of the waste that is created by household, industrial, and commercial activities, as I just told you. In the first systematic review of the scientific evidence around global waste, its management, and its impact on human health and life, few of the authors concluded that about a fourth of all the municipal solid terrestrial waste is not collected, and an additional fourth is mismanaged after collection, often being burned in open and uncontrolled fires, 1 billion tons per year when combined. They also found that broad priority areas each lack a high quality research base, partly due to the absence of substantial research funding, which motivates the scientists, which they often require for proper waste management. Now, if we move forward and look at the other topics, we should now look at the principles of waste management. So basically, there are four basic principles of waste management which I have listed over here. The first one is waste hierarchy. The second one is life cycle of a product. The third one is resource efficiency, and the fourth one is polluter pays principle. We will discuss all these four principles in detail one by one. So the first principle is waste hierarchy. The waste hierarchy refers to the three R's, which is reduce, reuse, and recycle, which classifies waste management strategies according to their desirability in terms of waste minimization. The waste hierarchy is the bedrock of most waste minimization strategies. The aim of the waste hierarchy is to extract the maximum practical benefits from products and to generate the minimum amount of end waste. The waste hierarchy is represented as a pyramid because the basic premise is that policy should promote measures to prevent the generation of waste. The next step or preferred action is to seek alternative uses for the waste that has been generated, that is by reuse. The next is recycling, which includes composting. Following this step is material recovery and waste to energy. The final action is disposal in landfills or through incineration without energy recovery. This last step is the final resort for waste which has not been prevented, diverted, or recovered. The waste hierarchy represents the progression of a product or material through the sequential stages of the pyramid of waste management. The hierarchy represents the later parts of the life cycle for each product, which is the second principle of waste management. Life cycle of a product. The life cycle begins with the design, then proceeds through manufacture, distribution, and primary use, and then follows through the waste hierarchy's stage of reduce, reuse, and recycle. Each stage in the life cycle of a particular product offers opportunities for policy intervention to rethink the need for the product, to redesign to minimize waste potential, and to extend its use. Product life cycle analysis is a way to optimize the use of the world's limited resources by avoiding the unnecessary generation of waste. The third principle is resource efficiency. Resource efficiency reflects the understanding that global economic growth and development cannot be sustained at current production and consumption patterns. Globally, humanity extracts more resources to produce goods than the planet can replenish. Resource efficiency is the reduction of the environmental impact from the production and consumption of these goods, from final raw material extraction to the last use and disposal of the waste. The fourth principle is polluter pays principle. Polluter pays principle mandates that the polluting party pays for the impact on the environment. So whoever is producing the waste or not managing the waste management of that particular waste, they will be paying for the impact which will be done on the environment through that particular waste. With respect to waste management, this generally refers to the requirement for a waste generator to pay for appropriate disposal of the unrecoverable material. So these were the four principles of waste management. Now we should look at the basic types of waste. The first one is liquid waste. Liquid waste refers to all grease, oil, sludges, wash water, waste detergents, and dirty water that have been thrown away into several sources. The second one is solid waste. Solid waste is any sludge and refuse found in industrial and commercial locations. The five major types of solid rubbish are glass and ceramics, plastic waste, paper rubbish, metal and tins, and the third one is organic waste. Organic waste refers to rotten meat, garden and food waste. This type of rubbish is commonly found in our households or in our homes. With time, they decompose and turn into manure by the action of microorganisms on them. The fourth one is recyclable waste. All discarded items like metals, furniture, organic waste that can be recycled fall under this category. Not all items are recyclable, as we all know, so you have to be careful when putting things into the recycle bin. And the final one is hazardous waste. Hazardous waste includes flammable, corrosive, toxic, and reactive materials. In a nutshell, there are wastes that pose a significant or potential threat to our environment or even to human health as well. Now, what are the benefits of waste management? What we actually acquire while we perform a waste management approach? The first benefit is effective waste management reduces pollution considerably. The greenhouse gases like methane and carbon dioxide that is emitted from waste accumulated also reduces in the process. The second benefit says effective waste management keeps the environment clean, and as not much waste will be accumulated in the surroundings. There will be considerable reduction in the landfills as well. The third benefit is The process of waste management creates wide job opportunities. This is mainly because of the different processes that are involved in waste management process. The final benefit says effective waste management protects the biodiversity, thus protecting the Mother Earth. This process conserves energy since most of the processes involve the aspect of recycling. For example, many trees are cut for making paper, but if old paper is recycled, new paper can be made. So, hence, deforestation will be reduced considerably. Now, what are the steps in waste management? I have listed down the steps which has to be covered while doing the waste management. There are five basic steps, which is monitoring, collection, transportation, processing, and recycling. Let us discuss all these five particular points in detail. So, first step is monitoring. As I said, this is the first step in the waste management process. Monitoring of waste includes a few processes like identification of waste and assessment of waste. Even if it is commercial or household waste, it has to be properly monitored and accessed so that it can be wisely disposed to recycling centers. The second one is collection. The next step in effective waste management is collection. Here the waste are collected from landfills and recycling centers and they are properly sorted as recycling plastics, glass, cardboard, paper, metal, tin cans, aluminium, and so on. After it is being sorted, it is being collected and it is being taken to the respective recycling industries or units. The third one is transportation. So definitely when we have collected the waste, we will now be transporting it to the recycling industries or units, and it is done by using transportation vehicles. So they carry waste from the collection centers, landfills, dumping grounds, and sorting points and are taken to the final destination. All these are done by vehicles itself. Transportation plays a major role in effective waste management. The fourth step is processing. This is a major step in waste management. After the waste is being sorted and cleaned, it is broken down into bits for faster and speedy recycling. In case of hazardous waste, it has to be separately dealt with and handled with utmost care. Final step is recycling. This is the last step in the process of waste management. After processing, the final product is ready to be recycled. Biodegradable and organic green waste should be used to make organic of taken into the landfills. The rest should be completely recycled as to reduce pollution to an extent. New things can be made with minimal use of available resources, and this will also prevent depletion of the resources from our environment. So as now we have discussed the steps in waste management, we should move forward and understand what are the methods of proper waste management. So usually there are several methods used. As I initially told you that waste management approach differs from country to country and from region to region. Urban region has different kind of waste management approach. Rural region has different kind of waste management approach. Residential buildings have different kind of approach, and commercial buildings have different kind of approach. So there are several methods which can be used for an effective waste management. However, the most common ones I have listed over here which are available on your screen, which says landfills, plasma gasification, incineration, recycling, recovering energy, and minimizing waste. So these are the basically six common practices used for waste management, and we will learn about all these six practices in detail. The first one is landfills. This is the most commonly practiced form of waste disposal. Here the waste is thrown on a daily basis to the nearby landfills. When such lands get filled with waste, it is usually buried there itself. Management of these landfills is an important aspect of waste management. Some of the major reasons for landfills are agricultural waste, industrial waste, solid waste, construction waste, overpopulation, and urbanization. These landfills have drastic effect on the economy as well. The major negative effects of landfills are it causes land and air pollution, contaminating the groundwater and causing serious health problems like respiratory disorders, lung cancer, and so on. Combustion of landfills worsens the matter that further increases the pollution rate within our environment. The second method is plasma gasification. Plasma gasification is a process by which organic matter is fruitfully converted into electricity and gas. The plant has a gasifier which has hot gases from the plasma torch. This comes in contact with all of the organic waste, and it is heated at a temperature of 3000 degree Fahrenheit. Due to this extreme temperature, the raw material gets converted into synthetic gas or syngas. This gas mainly consists of hydrogen and carbon monoxide. This gas is further sent to turbines that are rotated to produce electricity. Due to the extremely high temperature, even the hazardous waste gets converted easily. And the major attraction of this particular process is that it does not produce any greenhouse gases during the process of plasma gasification. The third method is incineration. Incineration is another term used instead of combustion. Here, the solid waste is burned and they are converted into gas and residue form. This is mainly done in landfills to considerably reduce the volume of waste. This process is called combustion. In incineration, the solid waste is converted into gas and residue with the help of incinerators. This type of combustion is commonly used in most of the developing countries, and in our country, in India, it is mostly used within the industrial plants, and where the the workers also live within those industrial plants. The fourth method is recycling. Recycling is a process by which waste or discarded substances are recycled to make a new product through various processes. The two variants of recycling are upcycling, that is adding value to the item that is to be recycled, and downcycling, that is breaking down of the product that is to be recycled. The major advantages of recycling are: it protects the environment, a lot of energy is saved in the process, it is eco-friendly, it protects the biodiversity, it reduces pollution, and the resources are always protected. It is a very cost effective approach as well, and it reduces waste considerably. The three R's, which we recently discussed, that is reuse, reduce, and recycle, are the prime approach in the recycling process. The final one is recovering energy. Recovering energy is commonly known as waste to energy, or WTE. This is a process of converting the substances that cannot be recycled or non-recyclable waste to heat, electricity, or other fuels. This comes under the category of renewable resource, even though it comes from non-recyclable materials. This can reduce the emission of carbon considerably. The use of fossil fuel to create energy can be minimized as well, and this is a very new concept in waste management process. I apologize, I said that this is the last method. We have one more method which is pending, which says minimizing the waste. So minimizing of waste is the easiest way to reduce the waste. This can be very effective if more recycled products are used, like bags, bottles, and so on. Plastics should be avoided completely, and instead eco-friendly bags should be always promoted. So now I have come to the conclusion of this particular webinar today. I thank Mr. Rishabh and TNV Academy for giving me the opportunity today to discuss my views on today's topic. I hope that I was clear enough with my explanation on the today's on the topic of the webinar today. I now invite the participants for questions if they have any.
Guruji, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
What are the rules and regulations guiding waste management in India?
Rules and regulations guiding the waste management in India. Basically, there are three rules which has been stated. I'll tell you in brief. The first one is Municipal Solid Waste Management and Handling Rules, year 2000, which regulates the management and handling of the municipal solid waste and are applicable to every municipal authority responsible for collection, segregation, storage, transportation, processing, and disposal of municipal solid wastes. The second rule is Biomedical Waste Management and Handling Rules 1998, which regulates the management and handling of biomedical waste and are applicable to all persons who generate, collect, receive, store, transport, treat, dispose, or handle biomedical waste in any form. Management and Handling Rules 2010, which regulates the management and handling of electrical and electronic waste and is applicable to every producer, consumer, which is involved in manufacturing, sale, purchasing, and processing of these equipments or its components.
Sir, I have a question.
Yes.
Sir, what is aerobic composition? Composting.
Aerobic composting. Okay. Aerobic composting is basically, you can say, the creation of fertilizing compost by using bacteria that is available in an oxygen-rich environment. Aerobic composting is considered as the fastest method of composting, but it involves more work in terms of rotating the organic material periodically, or every cycle of the waste management process. Hope I got you got my answer.
So how do I practice waste management at home?
Waste management at home can be done by using by following several steps. You can keep separate containers for dry and wet waste in the kitchen. You can keep two bags for dry waste collection, paper and plastic, and for the rest of the household waste. You can keep plastic from the kitchen clean and dry and drop into the dry waste bin. And you can keep the glass and plastic containers rinsed for the food matter to be served. You can keep a paper bag for throwing the sanitary waste. So these are the basic practices you can do for the waste management at home.
Okay, thank you.
Hello, Mr. Kapoor.
Yes, sir.
My question is, how can I dispose of my old used tires?
Old used tires, car tires. Okay.
Tires, huh? Yeah.
So see, waste tires, must be dropped off at a solid waste facility only, and which is permitted to accept waste tires. So there are many permitted facilities around every area where waste tires are accepted for temporary storage, and then they can be transported to processing or disposal facilities as well.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Any more questions?
Yes, sir. I have a question.
Yes, please.
Yes, sir. Sir, my company generates hazardous waste. Do we have to submit a biennial hazardous waste report?
Yes, exactly. So a business is required to complete and file a hazardous waste biennial report if the site was a large quantity generator during the past odd number year. Past odd number year means, for example, 2011 or 2013. And or if the company was permitted to treat, store or dispose of hazardous waste during the past odd numbered year. So they will have to give this particular waste biennial report if they are falling into these criteria.
Thank you, sir.
Any other questions from the participants?
No, sir.
So I request, as there are no more questions, I request Rishabh sir to please conclude the session.
Thank you, Mr. Abur Malik, for this wonderful webinar today. The way you have shared your knowledge and insights on today's topic was really interesting. I hope that all the participants have been benefited by your expertise and wisdom on the given topic today. I thank you for giving your valuable time and effort to make this webinar a successful one. I also thank all the participants as well for being an integral part of this webinar. I hope to see you all again soon. I wish you all the best of luck on behalf of TNV Academy for your future endeavors. Thank you once again.
Thank you, Mr. Rishabh. Thank you, TNV Academy, and thank you all the participants for your wonderful questions. I hope that I was able to give satisfactory answers to all of your questions. Thank you so much.